Bats. People fear them, yet hardly understand them.
So we're heading to the largest concentration of bats anywhere in the world.
Full of bats, it's all bats.
40 million bats all around us.
That tickles.
We'll join their struggle for survival.
Ah, the nested beetle nailed me.
Get up close and personal.
I've got a bat in my shirt.
And expose the hidden and mysterious life of the Mexican free-tailed bat.
Be an insider in the creature world. That's the mission. The Kratts brothers, dropped in remote regions to live with the creatures, through their eyes, on their turf, by their rules. Be the creature.
We're here in North America, in the hill country of central Texas, a mixture of small towns, farmland, and an expanding urban population, just outside one of the largest but least known cities in the world.
But this city is actually underground, and it isn't full of people.
This city is full of bats, millions and millions of Mexican free-tailed bats.
The largest concentration of mammals in the world.
Bats have such a bad reputation with humans, but why?
Our mission, to live amongst the bats, get to know them better, and really find out if this is the kind of creature anybody has to fear.
We want to know what it's like to be the bat, the Mexican free-tailed bat. Inside this cave, the bats are waking up for the night hunt. Their victims, moths and other insects. Launching from their daytime roost, they pour out of this cave like an army of insect-seeking death missiles.
Millions and millions pouring out around our faces. On our face, I got hit in the forehead by one. Collision.
I almost caught that guy when he bumped into me.
This is a great start to a creature adventure. It doesn't get better than this.
Let's follow them.
They are moving.
Yeah, they're going pretty low over the tree line here. They'll slowly gain more and more altitude as they head up to meet up with the moths.
And then get 10,000 feet up there, where millions of moths have to face this stream of hungry bats.
It is a stream, too. It's like a river. It's like a constantly flowing river of bats.
There's no way we can keep up with them tonight, but we're gonna have to figure out how to ride the current of the bat's life.
Life is a battle for a bat, sometimes offensive, very often defensive. To understand, you gotta get up close and personal.
Stepping into that bat cave is like stepping onto another planet. The entire air composition is different than we humans are used to.
Yeah, we need our oxygen, and down there, it's a CO2 environment, a lot like inhospitable planets, plus ammonia, which can burn your lungs and could kill us within an hour. This is a deadly place for humans.
We should be sure that these are working and do the banana oil test, just to make sure there's not going to be any ammonia leaking in. If we squirt it right in front of our masks, we should be able to smell it if there's a leak. Nothing. Good. Headgear on. We're ready to go.
The toxicity of the cave keeps most creatures out, making it relatively safe and predator-free for bats.
Wow. The whole ceiling and walls are covered in fur. Even here at the entrance, the concentration of bats is about 200 to 300 per square foot. All right, so let's get a closer look at one bat. Look how tiny they are in your hands. A lot of people think bats are blind, and that is completely false. Some bats even have better eyesight than we do. Look at the tiny nostrils. And those ears wide and gaping, sound-gathering radar dishes. The mouth, full of sharp, dagger-like teeth for hunting insects. Those feet, hook-like for gripping the cave wall. Wings. The bat is the only mammal with true wings that actually fly. This is a highly evolved, specialized creature. But most people think bats are more closely related to mice. But in fact, they have more in common with primates than with rodents. Look here. This is a free-tailed bat, but it's a piebald color pattern. It's partially albino. The wings have the coloration too. Yeah. The wing is a modified hand with skin stretched between the fingers. You can see the bones really well. You can see the veins running through the skin between the fingers. And that is what makes up the bat wing. Chiroptera, hand wing. You're a beautiful bat. Do you want to fly? Fly that way. Let's follow her deeper into the cave. Whoa, the floor is moving down here. Hey, look, Chris, it moves. What are they? Beetles and beetle larvae. All these beetles, all this life on the floor, eating the guano of the bats, the bat poop. We're literally walking on a floor of bat feces. Whoa, it's deep here. A sinkhole. Whoa. It's like quicksand, bat guano style. Look how deep that guano is. Unbelievable. Look all around us. All the bat silhouettes. This is phenomenal. I couldn't hear you because something fell in my ear. Oh, I was looking up and things are raining from the ceiling. Probably bat guano just dropped in my ear. So what were you saying? You can see all the bats silhouetted. The light against their wings. Martin, you hit a big nursery section. Where? Right here. Right here are some of the pink babies. Now, they are really packed in there. They're packed in there at about 500 per square foot. It's a nursery colony full of mother bats raising their pups. Males are in completely separate caves. And each mother bat in this nursery cave has one single pup of her own. 20 million adults plus what? Almost 20 million offspring around. Yeah, so 40 million bats total right here, right now, in this cave with us. There's one mother and pup pair. The pup is so helpless. Only days old, naked, pink, eyes just starting to open. He calls a lot, calling to his mother. Without mom's care and nourishment, this pinky cannot survive. The same reality human babies face. Mom tucks him in onto the wall with other pups of similar age, and there they hang. The single most important job for the pinky, do not fall off the wall. The clinging instinct is powerful because a fall at this age is certain death. You know, the floor is way down below us because of the guano. We're standing on what could be up to 60 feet of bat guano. The ceiling at this point is probably about 30 feet high. This infrared camera basically sees in the dark, so you'll really be able to see how big this place is. And this is an infrared laser, which takes great temperature readings. And halfway down the slope, we've broken 100. Whoa. Oh, check it out. What? A cluster of newborn pups. Right there. They're tiny. They're big. They must only be about a day or two old. They're newborns. The suckling instinct. Chris, there's one with the umbilical cord still linking pup to mom. Wow. That means he's less than an hour old. Birth and motherhood down here. At the core, the same process is in our world above. We're heading deeper into the cave now. We better check our time because we don't want to stay in there too long, even with these respirators on. Ah, I took a huge gulp of ammonia. I could really feel it in my stomach. I know, we can't stay down much longer. But let's try to make it to the back of the cave. The heat's cranked up down here. Whoa, 103, 104 degrees in here and higher. Their body heat is cooking this cave up.
Without all the bats, the cave would be 20 degrees cooler, too cold to incubate the hairless pups. But for us humans, the cave was like an oven.
Wow, this is the major cavity at the back of the cave. We've made it. So from the entrance, this bat world is about as big as 7 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Long ago, underground water dissolved soft limestone rock to form this cavern. It's less crowded back here, but there are still bats. Oh my gosh, Martin. What? I see another entrance. Yeah. There's another entrance up this way. Check it out. Chris, that's the entrance. That's where we came in.
No, we came in the other side.
No, you got turned around.
Oh, I did.
That's the way out.
Wow, I got completely turned around.
I was disoriented, but the bats were comfortable, at home in their dark underground city.
There it is. The entrance to our world. The portal back to oxygen and a normal temperature. You know what's funny? We think going up into the Texas midday heat is cool. That gives you an idea how hot it is in the Batcave.
It is like another planet down there. The heat just sucks the energy out of you. I was getting that sticky sweat that you get right before you have heat exhaustion. The heat, the humidity, the ammonia, the CO2. There's a lot to contend with down there.
We'd accomplished our first challenge. Now we were ready to experience the bats' challenges. Don't get eaten alive.
Beware the bloodsuckers.
Avoid the dive bombers.
Don't get swallowed whole.
For a bat, these are the real nightmares.
If we tried to sleep inside the cave, we'd probably go to sleep and never wake up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna set up a camp right here about 50 yards from the entrance to the cave. All right, well, the bats are sleeping, and so should we. Get ready for tonight's emergence. The best way to get the sense of the emergence is to rise with the column. We're gonna do it in a hot air balloon.
All right, now we just have to wait for the bats to take off, and then we'll follow them up there.
There's one.
Probably have about 15 minutes to half an hour before the big column starts pouring out of the cave.
As soon as the bats give the go-ahead, we'll take off.
As a mother bat, you're driven by the need to feed not only yourself, but also your hungry pup.
You leap off the cave wall and head towards the exit. Once you emerge, you enter the bat vortex, swirling round and round, up and up as you gain altitude and speed. Finally, you split from the vortex and enter the river of bats. All right, going up.
This is a fantastic perspective. We are about 40 feet up, perfect column height with the bats. Look at that, it's a stream. We saw it from the ground and it disappeared as soon as you couldn't see over the treetops. But now look at that. They're definitely responding to the acoustics of the burner. It changes the direction of their stream a little as they hear that sound, but they're undeterred now in this mass movement streaming right by us in a 30-foot diameter column. They're still formed in clouds, real clouds that are picked up on radar. Doppler radar at the nearby weather station records the emergence as if it's a storm. The red and yellow colors are hordes of bats filling the skies. All right, let's hear what our fellow bats are talking about. We've got the bat detector here. This is gonna pick up the sounds that we can't hear and electronically transferring them into a type of click that we can hear. Silence. The sounds are part of their navigational system. Like sonar, it keeps them from bumping into an object, including each other. It sounds like static, but that's just because there are so many bats vocalizing. Yeah, let's go hunting. Where are the moths? That is what the bats are talking about now. All right, that's the end of our flight with the bats. We've gotten up into the column, but we can't follow them. Wind's going that way, bats are going that way, so we're gonna try again with a different type of flying machine.
Temporarily grounded as the bats split up and scatter in full hunt mode.
When hunting, it is every bat for himself.
Let's see if we can find some bat food.
Different types of bats eat different things. Some bats eat fruit, some bats eat frogs.
Our bats eat insects.
This is a corn earworm moth, one of the favorite foods of these free-tailed bats. They can make up about 90% of the free-tailed bat's diet. These moths are considered huge agricultural pests, but the free-tailed bats are a natural moth control, a natural pesticide for these moths.
The secret to hunting them down? Echolocation. Bats emit sound waves which bounce off objects and return to their ears. The brain interprets what the objects are and gives them shape. A rock, a leaf, a delicious moth.
Dawn, 6 a.m. The mother bats return from the hunt.
Look at them all.
Look at the way they come down from those heights.
Oh, they're dropping from the sky at 80 miles per hour.
Oh, full speed, and then with their wings, they break and make a sharp turn right to the cave.
And they swirl around. Look at this, there's a flow going this way, round and round, and they go to where they hang and where their pups are. They're bumping into us every now and then, and sometimes colliding with one another, but you gotta appreciate that sense of echolocation. Without it, this would be total chaos. The air is alive with bats. The walls are crawling with bats. And the floor is writhing and seething in a mass of beetles and their larvae.
We needed to take a closer look at life under our feet.
You see the layer of guano there? And on the top, oh yeah, we've got the larvae writhing by the millions on the cave floor, eating the bat guano, growing and metamorphizing into these ravenous, meat-eating beetles that attack. Ow, a dermestid beetle nailed me on the eye.
Dermestids will bite any piece of meat, us or the bats.
Little guys are brutal. The worst thing that could happen to this pinky would be to fall to the deadly, writhing masses below. Hang on, buddy.
Look at this guy, he fell. He's going to make a break for it. Running the gauntlet. He's got to get back to the wall.
All right, he made it. But now the hard part's getting back up to Mom. Oh, a dead one. He's covered with mites, those little white blood-sucking, energy-sapping specks. Those are mites. He's still alive, barely alive.
This one?
Yep, he just twitched, the poor guy. It is brutal in here. These bats are weak and have already succumbed to the mites. But healthy bats work hard to keep their fur clean, and they're relatively mite-free. Constantly scratching them off, constantly picking between their toes with their mouth to get rid of those parasites.
It's easy to think, gross, these bats are dirty, they have mites. But we do too, the human dust mite. It's in everybody's house, everybody's bed.
At this point, we wanted to see exactly what it was that was raining down on us from above and getting in our ears.
The bats were walking under her roosting, the bats flying over us. Every now and then, one drops a little bomb into the target. How's that looking? What do you think's in there? I know what's in there. Let's just see how much. Whoa! Wow! Oh man, you got a lot, Martin. Oh look, a dermestid beetle. Oh yeah, they want to get back to the cave. These guys are the worst when they land on you because they pack a mean bite.
And look at all this guano. That's from an hour walking around down there.
There are tons of mites in here, too. Look at all these pale, whitish flecks are mites. They're all over this black cardboard.
These mites are host-specific, meaning they prey on bats alone. When they come out of the cave on us, they die very quickly.
So we just wipe them off with the alcohol, get rid of the mites, get rid of the bat guano, get rid of the bat pee that's been spraying on us.
It's a tough place to live. It's not easy being a bat at all.
So the bats are getting a little competition here. This amazing green lynx spider snagged a moth, and that's what the bats eat. Up to 400,000 pounds of moths and insects in a single night. So this spider did catch a moth, but he's not putting much of a dent into the bat's food supply.
We've seen this impressive, huge concentration of bats, but now it's time to separate the individual from the masses so we can really start to understand the single bat.
But how can you identify one pup when there are as many as 500 pups on a single square foot of cave wall?
We're gonna use water-soluble, non-toxic paint to dab a little dot of paint on the back of a baby bat's head so that we can ID him based on the color that we put on him.
All right, Chris, you're gonna have to be quick with that paintbrush so you get the back of their head and don't get him in the face. So what do you want to call the first one? Cairo for Chiroptera? Sure, Cairo, that's good. Cairo. That's our guy. All right, Cairo is the white bat, double white spots. And why don't we also mark one of his buddies? Maybe that little girl right up there. So we can see if they stick together or if they separate and go off on their own. We'll give her yellow. Look at their wings stretching out. Yeah. Cairo's wing. Look at Cairo. She has less fur than Cairo. What's her name? Why don't we call her Kara? Cairo means hand, Tera means wing. That's how bats got their name Chiroptera, hand wing. So we've got Cairo and Kara. All right. Ooh, and Cairo's on the move. He's looking for a handhold there. If he doesn't find the right handhold, he might end up like some of his fellow pups on the floor, right in the beetle infestation. You really start to get a sense for how difficult it is for a baby bat in here. These beetles, the mites, about 50% make it through their first year.
Hopefully, Cairo and Tera would be among the lucky ones.
Oh, check it out, right up here by the entrance. There's some dead bat pups. The beetles are gonna get them for sure. Let's get the camera on this. Let's set it up, and we can see exactly how hungry and ravenous these beetles are as they attack this bat that just died here on the floor. Let's set this up. Should we go lower? So right, they're heading towards him fast. Those beetles are moving in. If you're eating back one all day, I guess I can understand why you'd get excited about some meat. Check the time. We'll see how long it takes for him to be completely devoured. It's now 2 hours after we found this dead pup, pretty much intact. These dermested beetles work fast, and we'll see what happens in the next hour, hour and a half. That is unreal. Picked clean by these beetles. Look, you can see the skull. You can see the skull right there. This is absolutely unbelievable. A tiny little skull, only about the size of my pinky fingernail. You can see sharp, the tiny little teeth. This is the hand of the bat.
Through evolution, the bat's fingers have been elongated to form the framework of the wing. The thumb is on top, still short and stubby, and used for climbing.
For 4 days, we'd been getting to know this bat city. 14 million inhabitants, half coming out at dusk to feed. But among the 20 million remaining, could we find our marked pups?
4:30 a.m. While the mother bats were away, we headed into the cave to see if we could find our bat pups, Cairo and Tera.
And listen for a second at the noise in this cave. All these bats are communicating with one another. Mother bats finding their pups. Mother bats communicating with their pups. It all has meaning. It's all part of the bat language that we know so little about.
Would we be able to find our pups without the ability to communicate like a bat?
Wow, yeah, it was somewhere around here.
It's a madhouse. I can hardly make out any individuals. None of them there. Hey, look at that little teeny one there. Not him.
Yeah, those four definitely don't have a mark.
They're not supposed to move far. Young bats usually only move up to a yard from their original roost. Maybe they're in one of those little mini caves. What could have happened to Cairo and Tara? Did they fall victim to the domestics? Ooh, or the mites?
Martin, over here.
Cairo and Tara had disappeared. We had no idea what happened to them. If only we had the instincts of a mother bat.
Martin, over here. The mother bats are returning. Each remembers the general area where she left her pup. There, one just landed. She starts calling for her pup.
That one there's calling back.
Could that be her pup?
She's crawling over to him.
Wait, is it that guy? Or is it... Oh, she's sniffing him. She's sniffing him. They're communicating. She's moving closer. I think that one's hers. He's going for her armpit. That's where the bat's nipples are. He's nursing. He's nursing from his mom. The mother and pup reunited. They found each other.
Hey, let's hope Cairo and Tara's moms did a better job than we did.
This just points out how amazing it is that the mother bats can actually find their own pup, their single pup, amongst the masses.
Phenomenal. It is like finding a pup in a bat cave. Finding a pup in a bat cave. That's our new saying.
At the entrance, someone else was looking for bats.
Texas rat snake. Oh yeah, he's right under here in his hole. This must be where the snake hangs out. He hangs out right near the cave, ready to snatch bats. Probably makes forays into the cave to grab a meal. We gotta keep our eye on this hole, especially when we come back in 2 weeks. When the young bats take their first flight out of the cave, a lot of them will fall down. They're not great flyers, and this snake and other predators will be ready to nab them.
These walking sticks are an amazing insect. Check them out. This is the male. That orangey bamboo collar with the green on his back. This female, whoa, who's crawling on me. You can see the color difference with her and the male. And the amazing thing is, you hardly ever see these walking sticks during most of the year. But now, they're out, they're active, they're breeding. Look at those antennae working. Feeling out for the next branch, in this case, my hand.
They're camouflaged to look exactly like a branch or stick, so predators like birds, small rodents, don't see them.
Hey, there's a breeding pair right here. Oh yeah, right up here. Let me pull this down. What an incredible, incredible creature.
Day 6. We had to go in one last time to see if we could find Cairo and Tara.
See, look, this one's trying to get a hold, but this other one is moving too. The bat pups can knock each other down into the ground, where the swarming flora of beetles is ready to consume them.
Oh, the beetles are even coming up on the wall to attack the pups, climbing towards the bats. The beetle's closing in on him. All right, he's getting out of there. Did he sense the beetle?
I think he might have.
Look at him climb. That's stalactite. Don't fall. Whoa, he almost fell. That was close. Hang on to that stalactite, buddy. Hang on.
Oh no! He fell when his mother flew off. We've got to save him. We've got to save him and put him back up on the wall. Come on, buddy. Let me get you before the beetles do. All right. I put this glove on so I don't get my scent on the pup, because their scent is critical for the pup and the mother to recognize one another. There you go. Back on the wall. He's heading up to the crash where he'll nuzzle in amongst the other pups and continue his development. Good luck, buddy.
The pups of this cave are growing so fast. We've seen them go from naked and pink to just beginning to grow hair. Soon they'll be practicing their flying. The young bats stretch and flap their wings. They're working the muscles, getting them prepared for flight. They won't fly for another few weeks, but this special practice flight buzz gets them used to using the wings.
So we're gonna take off for a few weeks and then return to join the pups in the next critical stage in their development, when they begin to fly with the adults.
Not only will they have to keep up with the emergence, they'll have to avoid the predators who are already lurking outside the cave. We'll be back. It's been 3 weeks, and the majority of the pups are now about 5 or 6 weeks old.
They've weaned, and it's time for them to fly out of that cave and go hunting for insects on their own. Let's see how they're doing. Hey, Chris, baby bat.
Oh my God.
It's a young one, fully furred, and out of the cave, so they are flying. He must have got knocked out of the air or ran out of gas or something.
Well, hopefully all he needs is just a little bit of a rest here on this rock, and he can continue. He doesn't have very far to go, just another 50 yards or so. Up, he's moving again. He went for it.
He's right there on the ground.
A little flight, but he couldn't get totally airborne. He's walking down now, trying to find another place where he can crawl up and get a little height. That's what these bats need, especially a young bat like him. They need a little height before they can really take off and go on an extended flight. Otherwise, we'll just land on the ground a few feet away from where he launches.
These first few weeks of flying are very difficult for the bats. Some make it, some don't. Our guy is looking pretty strong here. Hopefully he can get up on this rock, get enough height, fly back into the swarm, into the cave. And... good job, buddy.
Here's a casualty right here that is being finished up by the dermestid beetles that have come far out of the cave to feast. They know that there are lots of bats out here at the entrance. Oh, this one's in the area of the snake. Is the snake over here? Oh yeah, there he is. If the snake sees that bat, he's in trouble. Uh-oh. A newly flying bat pup has crash landed around the cave entrance. The resident Texas rat snake lays waiting to cash in. Uh-oh, the snake spots him. Oh, he tries to fly, but he can't do it. Can't get the height. The snake's just waiting for him to get closer. Oh, whoa. Oh, man. Swallowing him whole like these snakes do. What a horror for this bat. Wow. Gone. When you think about it, that rat snake has the perfect home. Right here at the cave entrance, we've been seeing a lot of fallen bat pups on the ground out here. Easy pickings for a snake like that. We humans rarely see bats as victims that we feel sorry for, but here it is. You can't help but feel sorry for them. But they're part of the system. The snakes eat the bats eat the moths. This is what sustains such richness of life around this bat cave.
All these young bats have pushed way out here. There were never bats out here before, and these are all young ones. You just want to pet the wall. There are so many bats. Furry little bats everywhere. There seem to be more bats flying than there were right here at the entrance 3 weeks ago, don't you think? Yeah, and we're having a lot more collisions with the bats. They're using me almost like a launch pad. Getting on my shoulder, getting on my head, resting a second, then boom, going like that. And not only bats are... wow, there's one on my face. Hey. That tickles. So many bats have landed on us now and been crawling right on our skin. If they wanted to bite us, they could have bitten us. They don't want to. They're fine. You can really see the difference in the strength and ability of the bats here flying around in this part of the cave than the bats that have crash landed at the entrance. Yeah, I can just see them. They're coming straight towards me, zooming, and then they zoom right by. They're good. These bats are really doing well. Gone are the clusters of pink on these walls. Now it's all black bats. No more pink pups anywhere inside this cave.
Chris, up there.
Oh yeah, there's a young one, a late bird. A really small pink bat mixed in with all the juveniles and adults. See her? That's cool, right there. Now with all these bats on me, I do get a sense of what it's like to be on this wall and to have just bats moving all around you, right next to you.
Imagine trying to get any sleep when you're being bumped and jostled and packed in like this.
You've heard of cat naps being short. What about bat naps? They're only about a minute long.
It's very tough to get to know an individual bat, to identify one in this alien world amongst the masses. But we've got something new to try.
This tiny thing is the radio transmitter. This is what we're gonna fix on the back of the bat between her shoulders. Here we go. Okay. And we're using the same glue that humans use to fix on false eyelashes. This tube's Martin's.
Funny, Chris.
Anyway, it's totally safe for the bat.
Just calm, everything looks okay.
Otherwise, it's gonna pull it up.
Oh, there's something biting my neck. One of these damn beetles on the front.
Little guys are brutal. Perfect. That's a great one.
There he goes! There he goes!
All right.
There goes White.
All right, we'll catch up with you later, White.
After marking a few more bats, including one we called Yellow, we found a bat that was naturally marked, an albino.
Whoa, this albino bat really stands out. A dot of white in a sea of brown bats. Unbelievable.
We knew we'd probably never see that albino again, but we had high hopes of following the radio tagged yellow, orange, and white during the emergence.
So the transmitters are on.
And we hope they'll stay on.
So that when these bats leave the cave, we'll be right on their tail.
With the help of the hot air balloon, we've already been a bat, rising with the column, but now we're gonna take it to the next level. Using this ultralight, we're gonna fly with the bats for as long and as far as we possibly can. And we're gonna try to keep track of those individual bats that have the radio transmitters. This antenna will pick up their signal when they're in the air, and then we'll just follow them for as long as we can. Martin will be waiting at the cave entrance, letting me know when the bats are leaving the cave.
That's our orange bat on channel 4. It gets loud and it gets a little quieter. That means that she is circling around in the column inside the cave. 11. 11's there. That is white bat. 8. 8 is right there, right on the outside.
It's yellow bat.
That bat is in the cyclone getting ready to take off.
Okay, it started. The river of bats is flowing. Chris is on his way. Chris, come on in, come on in. The river of bats is flowing.
The river of bats is flowing. All right, Martin, we're heading down. We're heading down, buddy.
And check channel 8, she's already gone. We might have missed her. Come on in, the bats are flying, it's begun.
The river of bats was flowing. Yellow had left the cave. We had to keep up. 8 just left. We got to get on to channel 8. Try to pick up the signal of Yellow.
There they go. And here comes Chris. Perfect timing.
Here they are. Here's the cave.
There he is.
Oh, yeah, we got channel 8. We got it. Whoa. Yellow's in this cloud somewhere.
She is straight ahead. At this altitude, the bats are starting to disperse, going in different directions.
Whoa, a stream right here.
Everyone is splitting up.
We're right amongst them.
Yellow is right in there. Oh, wait a second.
Lost the signal. I can't get her anymore.
Gone. We had her leaving the cave, and we picked her up for 2 minutes up here in the air. But not for very long.
We got a feel for some individual bat movement, circling in and out of the cave, going deeper, coming to the front, and then taking off. We definitely had movement out of the cave and a couple go off in the distance, but that was great. We got a little isolation of 4 individuals from this mob of 40 million.
We gotta pack it in just after dark.
But Yellow and her army of bats would continue, hunting down and devouring more than 200 tons of insects tonight.
That was a phenomenal flight.
6:30 a.m. Yellow and the inexperienced pups would be returning. In order to reach the safety of the cave, they'd have to run the gauntlet.
Chris, Raptor flying in.
Got it. Heading straight for the bats.
Right to the column. You got him?
Yeah.
Wait, it's her. A big female red-tailed hawk.
She's cruising through the swarm, searching for a victim. Oh, she got one. She got it.
Chris, right.
Got her.
Hey, coming in. Dive. Oh, yeah. Oh. She got 2. Did she get 2?
I think so.
She got 2 bats in 1 dive.
They've got it figured out. They just wait here, by the cave entrance, knowing that the bats are returning in the morning. And they just circle around, fly a pattern, then they tuck their wings, dive, extend the talons, and nab one in midair. They know exactly what they're doing.
It's a phenomenon we've seen all over the creature world. Predators learn when great numbers of young are concentrated in one spot, and the raptors are coming in for them. Oh, a different raptor. But this is a falcon. A falcon for sure. Peregrine falcon. That's what we've got. Oh, wow.
You can actually tell when she's going to attack, because as she's flying into the swarm of bats, she's flapping her wings. But just before she begins to attack, she goes into a glide. She swerves and dodges and nabs the bat with her feet. It looks like she's eating part of it as she carries it off.
Could be heading back to her nest. There, the unfortunate bat will become food for a new generation of bat-eating raptors.
So that's another piece of the Mexican free-tailed bat's life.
Snakes are after you, hawks are after you, domestic beetles want you, mites are chewing on you all the time. It's not easy for these bats. On the last day of the expedition, we finally connected with a single individual bat.
I've got a bat in my shirt. Trying to let him out here. You see him?
No?
Can you see the bump?
Oh yeah, on the other shoulder. Yeah, right there. Oh, he's coming at the back. See him?
Oh,
He came out of your little vestibule. Chris, he's behind you.
is he back in?
Yeah. Oh, he's going in. Oh no, he's going back in.
He's climbing up my shoulder.
You might as well take the whole shirt off, man. Chris. Oh yeah, Chris, turn to me. Turn to me. There he is. Yeah, I see him.
Oh yeah, he made it all the way down to my pack.
One thing's for sure, bats are not ferocious evil creatures out to get us. They're great creatures.
Why, buddy?
Mexican free-tailed bats. A cave-living,
Crowd-loving, insect-munching, pup-raising, night-prowling, fast-flying,
predator-dodging.
good-natured mammal. A bat's lifestyle is so foreign to ours that in general, people get a little squeamish around bats. But bats are allies, they're not creatures to fear.
You might not want to be a bat or live her life, but you gotta love all of these amazing, gentle, peaceful creatures. No doubt about it. Bats are cool.
Oh yeah.
There's the albino.
Oh yeah, there she goes.
You can see her. Look at her go, spiraling around. Now she's in the column, and she's out of here.
Yeah. And there goes a whole new generation of bats. Here's to many generations to come.
Good luck.